BFL, Barefoot Linguist here. Today I'm starting with myth number 1, that children can't speak or write properly anymore. This is a huge myth that I hear all the time, and it's not true. In reality, children write a lot better than they did 40 years ago. Our literacy levels have skyrocketed in the past 40 years. As for speaking, relatively, we do it just as well as we did 40 years ago. The main point here is to take out that properly from the myth, or even the correct out of a myth, and put in there, children speak differently, and they write differently nowadays. The linguistics behind this is that every different group, whether it be cultural group, age group, etc., has their own code or variety that distinguishes them from everyone else in the groups. That is, in New Zealand, we speak New Zealand English, and over in Britain they may speak British English, Australia they speak Australian English, and in South Africa they speak something. And what's more, my parents may speak a code or variety, I may speak a completely different code or variety, and my grandparents may speak a different code or variety. There's nothing that says they're better or worse, it's only that they're different, and that in each different context, they're more or less appropriate, which is the main word we need to bring into this argument. To put it in perspective, 400 years ago, people had the same argument, that English was degenerating, that it was going to be disappearing soon. And I'm speaking English perfectly fine, and you're all understanding me, at least the ones who speak English as a first language or those who are competent enough, and this greatly displays the fact that English hasn't disappeared. Now, 400 years ago, English was very different from what it is today. If I was to travel back in time, I probably couldn't understand them. And if they were to travel forward in time, I wouldn't be able to understand them, and vice versa. Let's put aside the fact that time travel isn't possible. So we come to the conclusion that English isn't getting worse, it's not getting better, it's merely changing, and that everyone has their own variety or code which is appropriate or less appropriate in each different context that you're talking it in. If you get someone, a young person, who speaks a very strong code or variety to distinguish himself as being a punk, and we take that person and throw them, say, in a tea party with the Queen, and they refuse to accommodate for the Queen, then obviously we're going to find a few translation errors there. This doesn't show that one's better than the other, it just shows that they're different. First one down, that's my first myth, that children can't speak or write properly. Hope I prove that it's completely wrong, and that you're able to follow the train of thought. I do get a little bit waffly and start to allude on some random things every now and then, and believe it or not, I've taken about 40 different shots just to try and get this one video. If there's any rumours you guys think of that niggle you in the wrong way, or you just really like to know if they're true or not, post them in the comments and I'll try and get round to them. As for the normal content, I'll pull up another rumour from the linguistic mill and see if I can prove it to you next week. Thanks. This is the BFL, Barefoot Linguist. Ciao.